That's the way to do it, I guess. Hey, good morning and welcome back once again to Jack's Tech Corner and Photography Weekly. This is episode number 68 for Sunday, November the 18th, 2012. Hey, coming up in today's Rookie Corner, we're going to be talking about selections and masking. And even if you know everything there is to know about selections and masking, hey, stick around because we can always use a refresher. And I thought that'd be a great little rookie tip for the day. Next, it's that time again, folks. I've been getting tons of email. People's been asking, saying, Jack, once again, how do you create a greeting card? So we're going to go over that. We're going to look at creating greeting cards. And again, it might be a refresher for some of you, but it might be a brand new topic for the others. So that's why we want to touch on creating greeting cards. And then we had a really good turnout this week for our assignment 67, and I appreciate that. Everybody's hard work and all the uploads. So we will be having our tribute to assignment number 67. So with all that said, let's get started here with episode number 68. Okay, fantastic. Well, let's get started here with the official shoutouts this morning because there's a lot of people in the chat room, a lot of people to say hello to this morning, and I'm glad you guys come into the chat room. You know, if you're watching this video on Justin TV and you're just kind of lurking out there and watching and learning, that's great. We want to pay it forward here and be able to teach you something new about photography. But the chat room is where it's at, and there's stuff going on in that chat room all the time. And people are talking as I'm doing lessons and kicking ideas back and forth. So you might want to be in the chat room with us. So it's very easy to get in the chat room. All you got to do is come over to, I put a link in Justin TV in the chat window. Use that link because we don't use Justin TV's chat. We use our own IRC chat room. It just seems to work better most of the time. Okay. With that said, we're going to give our official shout outs there to you guys this morning. Good morning to Cheryl, Debbie, and let's see here. Jake the Snake, good morning to you. Jody, Julie, June, Peter in the UK, and Sharon. And everybody else out there that, as I said, may be watching but not chatting just yet. But try to get in the chat room there if you can, and we'll be happy to have you in there. So today I said we're going to start talking here about selections and what a selection is. And I know a lot of you out there saying, Jack, geez, we know how to do selections. But it's always good to relook at the tools just to get an idea. I know even sitting down preparing for this segment, I said, wow, that tool works better than that tool. And then I have a new selection tool that's became my new favorite over this past week when I've been doing a bunch of photo restorations. So I'm going to show you that tool, that selection tool that I really like to use because I think it's more precise, I think is an easier way to say it. So, and you may have your own way, and your way may be the quickest. And I say the best way to do any selections is the way that you do it most often. So with that said, let's go ahead and switch over to the computer here, and we're going to start working on some pictures. All right. I'll just move this mic over here. Okay. And we will get started. All right. Okay, Mike, I see you're trying to come through there. Good morning to you also. I see you're trying to get in there with us. That is fantastic. All right. Move my chat window out of the way, and we're going to get started here. Let me just bring up my handy dandy Photoshop elements. And how was the music this morning, guys? I just wanted to use that in there a little bit for the opener, just to let you listen to something. I guess I could have used elevator music, but I didn't think it would be as nice as a little bit of heavy metal, heavy rock there. So I thought that would probably be more get the blood pumping a little bit this morning, get ready to go and do some editing here. So that's what we're going to do right now. All right. Just look here. All right. Let's just grab a screenshot here. And over here. And we're going to get started here. That looks pretty good. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start off this morning learning about our selection tools and how to use these tools and what exactly and how exactly we can use them. I'm just going to show you a few examples as we're going through with the selection tools and show you how we can use some of them, and makes life a little easier when you're doing certain other things. So let's go ahead and get started with that. The first one up here in our selection bracket, and if you look, this is Photoshop Elements 10. I don't know which version you're using, but this right here, let me just see this again here. We're going to try to do this so I can show you this a little tighter and blow this up a little bit more here, because this is your toolbar and everybody knows where the tools are on your Photoshop Elements. But right here at the very top, these are our selection tools right here. Now, with that said, the selection tools are, this one here is the elliptical selection tool. If you right click on any one of these tools, you can actually come in there and have extra tools inside. And a lot of people know that and a lot of people don't, but this is just a refresher for those that do. So we also have the rectangular marquee tool. Now on this one, we have the lasso tool, the magnetic lasso tool, and that's good or bad, and I'm going to show you that one, and the polygonal lasso tool. Here we have the magic wand tool. Now some people may like that tool and some people may not, and I'm going to show you why it could be good in some circumstances, and it could be really, really devastating and bad in some others. And then we have one of my favorite tools here, which is the quick selection tool. And we have the selection brush. And I'm going to show you the difference between those two and how you can use the selection brush as a masking tool. And sometimes that makes it even easier to do selections when you have more of a visual aid. And that can help you out. So now that you know where those tools are located, it's between this little mark right here and the bottom little mark right here. All right. Those are just little indentations that break up your toolbar. So there they are. All right. Now that we've seen that part, let's go back out here and back down here. And now we can actually do some selections. So what we're going to use first is we are going to use our rectangular marquee tool. Now I'm going to show you a way that I truly like to use this tool, and I use it a lot for this because it makes it very, very easy to do some framing of your pictures. So what we're going to do here is we're going to make sure up here at the top, the very top right here, if you can, hopefully you can see my mouse moving. Here is a new selection. And there is add to selection, subtract from a selection. And then there's this little guy here that says intersect with a selection. That's not used a whole lot. Some people would use it, somewhat, but I don't really like to use it at all. So we're just going to go to new selection. We are going to make a new selection around this car. Now this is cool. I don't know if you've ever seen this or not, but if you hold your shift key down, you get it to here and you're like, it's not where I want it. Hold your shift key down, you can move that box around. As long as you don't leave go of the mouse first. So you can move that box around, leave your shift key go, and leave go. All right. Now, there is your selection. Now, if you have to make that selection bigger, you can actually transform your selection and you can make it bigger. You can do a free transform, and we can make this a little bigger, which is actually pulling a picture out there too a little bit. All right. So once you get it done, hit the checkbox on the bottom, or you can actually hit your enter key, either one. Now what I wanted to show you how I use this for is, actually we have the car selected right now, but what I'm going to do is go to select, and we're going to go to invert. And once you do that, it's really easy to do different things with this. Let's just right click on our selection. You can see here there's a bunch of tools on your right click menus that a lot of people don't use. A lot of people go up to, image, select, and work on it there. But I like to go in here. You can create a layer via copy, a new layer, free transform it, transform selection. We could do all this. That's what we were working on earlier. Or we can fill it. Let's fill this selection. You could fill it with any color you want. So let's grab a color. And again, this is what I say I like using this for. I mean, this is just an easy way to do things. And just do this. Now you can see we just made a nice little blue frame around that car. It's very easy to do. And if you want to, you could take that blue frame. You can actually drop the opacity. Well, you're going to drop the opacity on the whole thing here. But you get the general idea there. So we filled that frame, and we made a quick and easy frame. Let's go back here to revert. All right. Now let's do the same thing with the elliptical tool. Take the elliptical tool. We're going to move it around here. All right. So if we can just transform the selection. Using the transform selection so you can make it bigger. Because a lot of times, how many times you guys actually make a selection and then you find it's not big enough, right? So we have to redo it and redo it and redo it. Well, this way it gives us a chance to actually just put this selection where we want to put it. Just like so. And just like so. Right? Now what we want to do here, now we're going to go to select, inverse. And now what I would like to do is go to new layer via copy. And you're going to see now that I actually created that with that actual transparent in the middle. Okay, so there's the outside, there's the inside. Now, with that said, we can actually color that outside, and we can now lower the opacity to this one to see the underneath. So let's see if we can do this. Just grab our paint bucket tool. We'll grab maybe a light blue. Just paint that. Yeah, maybe we'll just go to layer and see if we can do a fill layer here. Yeah, we just fill the layer, and we'll just grab another color again. All right, then we just filled the whole layer. So if you drop this back is when you can lower the opacity of that actual part right there. Okay, so again, just another quick way to make a frame around it. You have a lot of options you can use there, and it works pretty well. The next one we're going to talk about is the lasso tool. Now, the lasso tool is used just to make a quick lasso, right? Like you're throwing a rope around something. So if we want to make a lasso around the car, just going to make a quick lasso like this. And then that would be for something if you're actually cutting a car out or something. So if we cut it out, if I did a Control J, you can see now I cut that car out. It's quick and dirty. So you have to remember, you have to clean this up some. I like using the eraser tool to clean it, but you can use whatever you want. You can just go around here and clean it with the eraser tool. All right. Now there's better ways to do this, folks. So I'm just showing you a quick and dirty way you can get around to making a quick selection. So there's a way you can make a selection. Let's delete that layer. All right. Let's turn our car back on so we can see it. And now I'm going to talk to you about the magnetic lasso tool. Now the magnetic lasso tool, what it looks like, it looks for parts between light and dark. Okay, so light or dark tones, and it magnifies itself, or magnetically sticks to each part between that light and dark. So let me show you how that works. We're gonna get right up here to the top of the car. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this a little better, folks. Because remember my motto when I teach you, if you can't see it, we're not really doing anybody any good, right? Let me see if we can't show you this way. All right. So when I'm using this tool, it actually, if you click on one side here, and as you click, if you can see, it's actually sticking itself right to the top of that yellow. I'm not clicking, I'm just moving my mouse along. And I'm not even really following that, but what it's looking for is looking for the light and the dark in between the top and the bottom is how it's doing that. Alright, so we're just going to keep going here. And we'll go around. And you can go back under. And like I said, you can see there, it's actually, it's clinging, I guess, basically to that yellow. Okay. Once you get to the end, just click and you have a selection. And you can tell it's a selection by the marching ants, right? So if we do a Control J on that, you'll see that we have that actually made into a selection. So that is the magnetic lasso tool. All right, let's bring this back up. Hopefully everybody's bearing with me here this morning. Okay. Now we're going to talk about, we're going to delete this layer. And click back on this. And now what we're going to talk about here is my new favorite tool is the Polygonal lasso tool. Now, I like using this with my Wacom board. And why? Because I can take this pen and I can just follow along and stick my points wherever I want to along these ridges. And I'm going to show you that. So let's click on that tool. And with my pen, I'm just going to use, and my pen's actually working as a mouse pointer this time. And this time we're going to go over this window. All right. So let's just go here. And we're just going to stick here. Now you can draw a line as small as you want or as long as you want. Now it is not actually magnetizing itself to the corners there. I'm actually clicking. Every time I click my mouse is where it's going to stick to. See, I can take this all the way up here. Back across. Now the reason I like using this on retouching, I've been using this a lot on eyes and on lips because I find it to be very good. And when you click the last time, you're going to actually have your selection. Now once you have that selection made, again, just right click on it. We can do all kinds of stuff with it. Let's fill the selection this time. Let's play around with this earlier actually, and I made it black. So there you go. So it's black. Now, if you just have a selection made, and you have that selection made right there, we can actually do a Command J. You can see it selected there. And you can play with the opacity or whatever you want to on that one. Not just seeing there in the chat room. See, folks that's not watching the chat room, I can see that Jody says she has to get herself a Wacom board or a Wacom board. I understand the bamboo ones are pretty good. I don't know if you folks, anybody owns one. I got this, and I showed you before, I think. It's an older one. This is a graphite, a Wacom graphite board. The model is CTE-630. I was fortunate enough to find this on eBay at one time. It came with the pen. This is a Graphire 3. Came with the stylus, and I've been using this board for a long time. And I know the bamboo ones actually have more pressure points, I think, and stuff to it. I don't know what the difference is. I've never used one. I just got this one here, and I've been using this tablet for so long that, you know, it's just part of my left hand. I'm left-handed too, so that's probably why. Okay. All right. Well, we'll get to this chat window here in just a minute. Keep throwing your stuff up in there, folks. It's great because this is a lot of good feedback today about the Wacom or Wacom boards, and we're going to bring it to the rest of the viewing audience here. So our next selection tool, folks, is, let me bring up a picture here of my darling wife, who's not here right now, so I can use her picture. And you may be seeing her. We're going to be doing a live shoot for a class, and she agreed to model. So that's going to be here in a couple, maybe in a few weeks. We're going to see which week it comes up in. All right, what I wanted to show you here was the Magic Wand tool, which this is the tool you're going to either love or you're going to hate. Now, I like using it if it's a solid color background. So I can click on it and just get a real quick selection, right, of the background. So it makes it really easy for that. Where it makes it really hard for the people try to use this thing is places like skin tone. And you can see there the skin tone is not all selected. Now you can, and I know a lot of people out there is already saying, Jack, you didn't change your tolerance. You can change this tolerance level right here. And we can change it to maybe 50%. And we can see if it's any better. But now you see it's starting to pick up even more of the white around her, right? The skin tone and white. So then we can say, well, okay, let's try to drop the tolerance to maybe 2. Let's see what we get. And now you just get a real small little bit of skin tone. Okay. So it does make it very hard to use that Magic Wand tool for anything but a solid color. I use it for grass, water, skies. It's perfect. I mean, if you have a pretty decent blue sky, it's going to do a pretty decent job for you. The trick is when you use it, let's change this back to 10%. Well, we'll go 15%. We're going to deselect, and we're going to select the background again. And you can see again where it didn't make that whole selection. You know, there's some over here just not right. It got one of her teeth in there, a part of her eyeball, so it's not that great. But what you can do is use that with your quick selection tool, and you can clean some of this up. So we can go in here, we can add, and then we can just start adding some more over here. So it gives you a good starting point, and it helps you along, and then just use your other tools to clean up your selections even more. Now with that next tool I wanted to tell you about, that was the quick selection tool. Now see how easy the quick selection tool works is, again, I'm just using my board, and we're just going to make a selection here of something hard. Would be her eyeglasses. And again, the smaller you can get the mouse head, or the smaller you get the brush head, the better you can get your selections to be, right? So we'll do something like this. And I'll give you guys another pointer too if you're changing colors on something. Check this out. You might like this. All right. Tap in here. Tap here. Like so. And get some of this in there. And I think I showed you this when we was doing lips a few weeks ago, but this is one of my favorite ways to change color on things now. I think, you know, I've had a lot of luck with it. Check this out. Okay. So anyway, that's a quick selection brush. That's how it works. And if you really want to change colors on something, if you go here, you go to hue and saturation, it actually will mask those. So you can actually start playing with coloring on different things. Changing the color. And actually it's doing more masking of her eye than anything else. Did you see that? Watch, check it out there. So there's her glasses. It also has her eye in there, which is not cool. You would have to actually take that, and I would just use a brush and clean it up. I just use a brush and just clean that out. This is just because we're on a mask. That's why you can clean that out of there. Just something like that. But yeah, you can take the hue and you can change those glasses to, you know, up and down, change the color, and take the brightness down and up. It's kind of hard because they're black. So there you go. So that's just the way you can change colors on them. Let's close this and get rid of this. We'll delete that layer. Yes. We'll close this out. All right. Now the last selection tool I wanted to show you guys here is the masking tool. So if I do a selection mask, I'm going to either add to it or I'm going to subtract from it. So let's add to it first. And if you add to it, what's going to happen is everything turns red. Whatever is red means that's what you're going to get rid of. Whatever you color over, that's just a solid color like this, that is what you're going to actually be keeping. So it's very easy to mask. And the reason it makes it so nice when you're masking is you can actually use the mask to start using it for like stray hairs and stuff. Up in here, you start masking this stuff out. And the way we do that is we just drop the hardness down a little bit of the brush. You can actually come in here and actually make it even easier to get that hair and stuff out of there. It does take some work, but what I wanted to show you today was you can make a selection by using a mask. Just do this here. We're going to turn our hardness back up to 100. And just to show you that this is a selection, we'll change it back here. Check this out. So if I go up here to Mode, Mask, and Selection, you can see that that is in fact selected. Let me go back here to Mask. And again, we're back on our mask, and we can just simply paint away and clean everything up. So there you go. So it's just another way, if you've never used that way to do a selection, it's another great way that you can work on your selections. So just by simply using a mask. Okay, what I'm going to do now is read over some of this chat stuff that we've been going through here. It's been pretty good to see you guys chatting along in the chat room. All right, so Sharon said she bought one a while ago, Jody, and she really likes it. That's good. Jody was the one I said earlier that says she's going to look for a Wacom or a Wacom board. Sharon does have the bamboo. I don't know which size you have. Maybe you can throw that up in there. Oh, you showed us the model number that you do have. That's nice. And Debbie says that she has one, but it's hard to use. And all I can say there with these pens, it's basically, I think it's because we've written and we've drawn all of our life looking in front of us on paper like this, right? And now you're kind of drawing away from you, drawing out to the left, and you're looking at a screen up here. So honestly, what I see that is basically hand-eye coordination, Deb. It's practicing with your hand-eye coordination. Just like how we had to learn how to use a mouse at one time, now we have to learn how to use a pen and actually draw. Once you do it for a while, you're going to get the hang of it. So don't give up. Keep working on it. Flyer here says Flyer here has a bamboo. It's small, but he likes it. And it was cheap. It was less than $100 US. So it's about where they run. The bigger ones here, I think this is a 6x9 I have, but the bigger one's going to cost you a little bit more, maybe 2 to 2.5. And June says she has one also. It's small, about $100. And it came with element 6, so that's good. You have a double win there because you got elements with it. Let's see. And Debbie says a Graphire 2. All right, so, and it's still a very good board, Deb. I mean, Graphire 2 still work. That's the thing with these boards. As long as you don't cut the cable or throw the pen against the wall or, you know, bite it apart or rip the little stylus on the bottom off the tip, these things will last. I mean, they'll last a long time. Now, mine did come with a mouse or something, and I've never used it. I just used a computer mouse because it's right beside it anyway. Sharon said hers is about 7 inches tall and 11 inches wide, with a drawing area of about 7 inches by 8. All right. So that's good to know, and I'll have to look at that one. Like I said, I don't know. You know, the thing is, folks, and I hate to tell anybody this, but you can actually buy it. Like if you have a department store by you, or a Best Buy, or a Circus City, if they're still around near you, you could buy these things and try it out for, you know, 2 or 3 weeks, and you go, man, I really don't like that, and just take it back. It gives you a chance to try it out. I know I hate to tell you to do that, but I'm pretty sure my thought of it is, once you buy it, you're going to love it. You're going to say, man, you wouldn't give it up. Like, they'll be prying the pen from your fingers. You won't give it up. So, check it out, like I said. And check out eBay, though, because you might find a used one a lot cheaper. And I like eBay for this kind of stuff because it's not, you know, it's not something I use every day. So, why wouldn't I just buy it off eBay? Okay. With that, we came to that point in time when we have to go through our sponsorships. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to bring up our sponsor up here and let the sponsors visit you. And if you want to keep the show on the air, and now don't do anything because that has nothing to do with me being on the air, actually. But if you want to support the sponsors, how's that? It doesn't matter to me if you do or if you do not. Okay, I'm just saying that. But the people on my website, jackstechcorner.com, on the left, those are people that's been sponsoring the show, and I don't think I have the newest one up there yet, do I? I don't think the sponsor is up there yet for Photomatics. So, but those are the people that kind of just have sponsored the show, and the only way they sponsor, they don't pay me any money monthly or anything like that. Usually and normally, honestly, what it is they'll give me a version of software to try out on my computer. Basically, I try it out, and if I like it, I bring it to you guys, and that's kind of how they're sponsoring the show. So that's about it. And the only one I can tell you that is Green Screen Wizard. That check him out. But okay, let's watch the ads, and I'll be right back. Get a coffee or a beer wherever you might be, and we'll see you in a minute. I'd like to thank you once again for watching Photography Weekly each and every week. And I wanted to say a special thank you and a little short commercial break here for our sponsors of this show. First and foremost, let me send out my special invitation to you there to come over to jackstechcorner.com. I have a brand new Elements 10 Volume 1 DVD, and it's going for $20. And if you pull down menu down, you'll see a lot of other options in there for you also. Or if you'd rather, instead of learning on a DVD, and if you have high-speed internet, you may want to sign up for one of my online classes. The online classes are there for you, and they are on Lightroom 4 for all. It's a very easy way to learn Lightroom 4. And there is a Elements 10 class, actually the one on DVD, that will be coming out as a online class. So you will have actually that option also. Next, let me thank our friends over at SmugMug. SmugMug is where I do all my professional printing at, and I wish that you would sign up also. If you go to my website, jackstechcorner.com, on the left-hand side there's links. If you click on that link and enter the special code, you'll get a 20% discount. And that's huge because the Pro version is $150. So if you take 20% for that, you're going to be good to go. Save a ton of money and start making money right away. or you can use them for all your personal printing needs for whatever type of photography printing you want to do. Next, if you do any green screen photography, then check out Ken's site, greenscreenwizard.com. Once again, go to my website, jackstechcorner.com, click on the link on the left, and that way Ken will know that you're coming from Jack's Tech Corner. Once again, that's greenscreenwizard.com for all your green screen photography and now video needs. And a special hello and thank you to our friends over at Amazon.com. If you're buying anything from Amazon, and man, don't we all buy from Amazon anyway? Go to my website, jackstechcorner.com. On the left again, click on the link to go to Amazon before you buy anything. That gives us like a 1% deal there of your total sell. So it helps the site out here, it helps us out, and it keeps it so we can buy new equipment to keep bringing you these great shows and keep on going. So if you're buying from Amazon, just go ahead and click that link and buy as you normally would. And I'd like to thank our HDR sponsors, HDR Soft and Photomatics. Photomatics does a great job. I'm using the Pro version now, Photomatics Pro 4.2, and the Lightroom plugin, and it is absolutely fantastic how it's integrated with Lightroom. So once again, that's Photomatics by HDR Soft, and you'll find those at hdrsoft.com. Download the trial version today. You won't be upset or disappointed. So that's it. Let's get back onto the show here and more learning. Okay. There we go. All right. Hopefully I made it back in time. I wasn't too far off there. Had to wait for the Keurig to make a fresh cup of coffee. So that's what we're doing there. Okay. Yep, welcome back, Mike. We got anybody else new in the chat room here this morning? I see Brian is in there. Flyer here. And Mike JP was all new since our shoutouts this morning. So there we go. All right. So it's that time of day that I wanted to show you how we can get away with making a beautiful holiday card or a greeting card or whatever kind of card you want to create. Actually, it's very, very easy. Then we're just going to do our tribute to our great assignment last week. So hold on here. Moving some windows around. Even with two monitors, sometimes you don't have enough monitors. You know how that is? That's just crazy, huh? All right, let's get rid of that picture. And we'll get rid of this picture. We don't need this one anymore. All right, and we'll start with this picture. Okay. Now here is the crew. And we'll make this a little bigger. I know. That was actually last year Christmas morning. I just looked up to make sure, make sure we all are like don't have boxer shorts on, I guess. The girls got pajama shorts or pajama bottoms on, but let's see. Let's see. Jack, you never have enough what? Stuff? Oh, stuff. Monitors. Yeah, I just maybe need another monitor. Okay. Anyway. I actually made this overlaid picture last year. So this is our last year's picture. But I thought it would be nice to use it for this year's maybe holiday card, right? And we can use it to create a new card with it. So let me bring this back up here. I really get rid of that scrolling text off of there. I don't really need that anymore. And let's see where I'm at here. Let's nudge me down and over and wherever I may be. Okay. Right there looks good. Now we're ready to go. So what we're going to do today is I have 3 pictures open in my bin. I have this holiday overlay thing that I made last year. And I have some gift wrapping stuff, obviously from Christmas morning. You can see all the wrapping paper on the floor. And we have a picture of a beautiful holiday Christmas tree that I took somewhere that was not ours. That's somewhere wherever we may have been. So 3 pictures open. I thought, wow, I want to make a card containing these 3 pictures. So all I need to do is, once your pictures are open in your bin, and this is the bin, not the bottom, we go over to Create, the Create tab on the right-hand side. So you have your full editor, and then we have our Create. We're going to go down here to Greeting Card. Photoshop Elements makes life really, really easy on us because it has a lot of creativity tools in there that Photoshop does not have. So, and I'm not getting on my soapbox today, folks, because you know I use Photoshop. I love it. It's a great program. But Photoshop Elements was invented for the creativity inside of you. Photoshop was created for the photographic, not really even photographic, the artistic ability inside you. How about that? To make it so you can produce different types of art with your pictures. But Photoshop Elements was made so you can be creative very quickly. That's what we want to do. Now, a lot of people have asked me in the past, Jack, if I use the cards in Photoshop Elements, do I have to buy them from a distributor such as SmugMug or one of the other big names that's on Photoshop Elements? The short answer to that is no, you don't have to. You can actually build a card and you can print it right on your printer, fold the card up, and you can mail it on its merry old way. I would suggest at least buy cardstock to make it at least look pretty, presentable. But let's say we are going to, just to design a card, you can design it and you can upload it to one of the companies and say, I want 50 cards. Boom, they're done. They mail them back with you with beautiful envelopes. You're good to go. So you also have that option. Now, you can use any card for any day. They have templates in here for, here's one like for, whatever that is, a spot of till, celebration cards, cherish cards, Christmas, colorful. And guys, you've probably seen these before. I did a YouTube video a long time ago on this, but I just wanted to do a recap since I've been getting emails about, Jack, how do you create a holiday card? So, we're looking at this one. We're going to look at the 5x7-inch folded card. It's kind of the one I picked out there earlier. And we're just going to click OK. Once you have it set up, say, all right, that looks like a really nice card. Click OK. Now, we can sign in, and it's just because you're using some of the plus stuff in there. You don't really have to buy anything, and it says you don't have to buy these online, so you can sign in. Click on Cancel on that. And of course, my demo I did this morning was a lot better than this one. All right, let's grab this one. Okay. So we're just going to grab this flat card right here. Okay. Now, like I said, whenever I do demos in the morning, because I do these, I used to get a lot of emails saying, Jack, you really need to practice before you do a show. And I was like, nah, I like doing it off the cuff. It's live, I like giving it a try. But honestly, I've been doing these. I've been practicing, taking some notes about what I'm doing. And obviously, I picked the wrong card there. Sorry about that. But if you do sign in, I did read that the additional cards, you download them, they're free. And you don't have to pay to print them. You can just print them on your own printer. Now, with this card, you can see where we got layouts here. We have a picture here already and a picture here. And we have some text here. So we can actually do whatever we want to with this card. Like, I don't like this picture in here, so I'm going to delete it. I highlighted it. I hit the delete key, and it's going to say, do you want to delete the selected layer? Because remember, everything in Photoshop is layers. Let's just delete that. Let's grab the picture of the happy-go-lucky family, and we're going to pull them up here. And we're going to place it in there. Now it's right there. And I don't know why it changed that top one. Now, if we move this over, you can actually grab this picture in the corner here, and you can resize the picture. I always suggest grabbing the corner of the picture and pulling it down towards the center so we don't distort the picture. And when you're doing that, make sure up in the top right-hand corner or left-hand corner says Constrain Proportions to make sure you're not making anybody wider, fatter. You know how that goes. Again, just pull it down a little bit more until you get it to fit in there. And we'll pull it down some more. And now it fits. And just hit the checkbox when you get it to be where you want it to be. And just like that. This one here, we're going to actually take this one and we're going to delete that out of there. Hit yes. And then all we got to do is we're going to put one more picture in there. We're going to bring our tree up here. And we're going to put it right there. And once again, you're going to do the same thing. Just need to resize this tree a little bit. And I know you can resize it the other way too. You can go up here and say resize and change the size if you have an idea what the size should be. But I never do, so that's why I just do size it by hand. I mean, you know, it's not that hard. Just keep pulling from the corner until you get that size of that card the way you want it. Or the picture, I'm sorry. Because we want this tree to be in here in our holiday picture. Once you get it set the way you want it, simply click the checkbox or hit enter. Now on your text, you can move your text around anywhere you want it. We can use word art. Okay, if you ever used word art before, you can do that. Click on wrap text. So anything you want to do here with your art or with your words, we can do that. Let's just get rid of this here. And we'll just pull this box out a little bit. And just like so. All right. Then once you get your message put on there, just click off of that and you're good to go. So you have that, put your family name on there and your cards are pretty much done. You can just hit on the bottom over here to the right underneath these letters now. Go back to pages. You can either hit done or you can hit print or order. If you hit print, obviously it comes off on your printer, right? And you can just print these off. I would suggest, like I said, on cardstock and you'd be good to go. Blow this up a little bit here so you can see a little bit better. So again, this is just a very, very simple card to do. And I would suggest probably do one of the folding cards, the folding layout cards, but it's that easy. Just drag and drop your pictures on there and you're good to go. So not a big ordeal. And that's that. All right, very good. Okay, gang. Well, your assignment for this week, if you haven't figured it out yet, is going to be a greeting card. It's that time of year anyway. Let's go ahead and make some greeting cards up. I think it'd be a great time to actually put something together and upload it. You know, yeah, they did. Mike and June, everybody did a great job on that tutorial this week. And, you know, sorry I had to kick so many people. You know, the one person last week said it best. Jack, I was scolding you and I didn't mean to do that, but on the funny side of things, maybe the little kick will get you going. You know, I create these assignments because I was asked probably a year ago, Jack, you know, we need to have an assignment each week. Yeah, just something to do. I mean, something very easy. And in the wintertime, I try to do more editing. In the summertime, I try to do more outdoor photography type assignments. So that's kind of how they fall. So this week's assignment is going to be greeting cards. So there you have it. Okay, everybody. So I do appreciate you coming here each and every week. Hopefully today's class wasn't too off the wall or too slow for you. I know we have a lot of advanced people out there, and I know we have a lot of new people out there. So we have to tailor these classes to both sides of my fence. And I'm glad to have everybody and all of you in here each and every week. So I mean, I just can't say anything more. With that said, I guess we have a holiday coming up here, Thanksgiving. So actually, that's where the wife was heading here this morning. She was going out to buy the holiday turkey and all the trimmings for the festivities of the house coming up on Thursday. So it's a good time to have family and friends over. And hey, it's a good time to get those cameras out, right? We should have an assignment this week on taking pictures of your turkey, or taking pictures. Maybe we'll do that too. Maybe it's a double assignment week. How about that? Here's your assignments. I got it. Get the cameras out. Take a beautiful picture, if you can, of your dinner table, a picture of your holiday meal or whatever it's going to be, and then make a greeting card out of it. Make a Thanksgiving Day greeting card. There you go. That's the assignment for this week. Got it. So, folks, thank you very much for checking in here this week once again with me, and I'm glad to have you here. It's because of you that I put these shows on. Also, there's going to be some live shooting coming up very, very soon. I'm getting some more equipment into the studio here so we can do some more live shoots. I know you like those. And we're going to be teaching you even more on how to use your camera and not hit your mic and make everybody jump like that. So, until next week, keep those shutters clicking, keep your editors editing, and make sure you get that homework assignment in. Remember, a picture of your holiday dinner or your turkey or whatever, and build a greeting card around that and call it a Happy Thanksgiving card. And everybody out there, have a great, great Thanksgiving. And thanks to you for giving me your time each and every week. And I'll see you back here very soon on Jack's Tech Corner for another Photography Weekly. So long for now, folks. Okay, great show, guys. I just want to get that in. Let me stop this recording.